Hi guys, and welcome back to the ACE Academy. In this video, we will be looking at how to calculate the x-intercepts of a parabola. Now, in grade 10, you guys only focus on the vertical shift and the change in shape of the natural parabola. That means that you don't have to worry about too complicated of a formula to use in order to calculate the x-intercepts of your parabola. What we are going to do together is we are going to try to mathematically find the x-intercept using the equation of the parabola. So the given equation that I'm going to work with in this video is the equation f of x is equal to 4x squared minus 4. Now if I gave you this equation and asked you to find the x-intercepts of this function, you would have some sort of difficulty because I haven't given you the picture of the function as yet. You can't look at the graph itself and look at where the graph cuts the x-axis to give me those values. But mathematically, we are able to find these points. And there are multiple methods to do this. Next year, you will learn about the quadratic formula, which will help you to find the x-intercepts quite easier. But for this year, I want you guys to focus on only one method. Okay? And that will be solving the equation. Because it's quite simple if you do it in this way. Right? So looking at this equation, we have the equation f of x is equal to 4x squared minus 4. Now, when we look at the Cartesian plane and look at the plotted function, we know that an x-intercept is where the function itself cuts the x-axis. So let me just draw a little sketch here for you guys to work with. So let's just look at this sketch quickly, right? This is our x-axis. That's our y-axis. And we said that the x-intercept is where this function cuts the x-axis. And we know that the equation for the x-axis is y is equal to 0. So let's look at this equation again. I have f of x is equal to 4x squared minus 4, and I want to find the x-intercept. I could simply just substitute in 0 for y, which is f of x, and I will get an equation 4x squared minus 4. Now this equation is quite simple to manipulate to obtain an answer because we only have one unknown, we only have one variable. So let's do this quickly. 0 is equal to 4x squared minus 4. Transposing over the equal to sign, I will get positive 4 is equal to 4x squared. Now I want to get rid of this 4 because I want x squared alone. So I will get 4 over 4 is equal to x squared. But I am not solving for x squared. I am solving for x. So in order for me to solve for x, I need to square root both sides because this one is raised to the power 2. We also know that 4 over 4 is equal to 1. So I can say 1 is equal to x squared. And if I come over to this side, I'm just going to write this a bit better, keeping my unknown on the left-hand side. So I'll get x squared is equal to 1, rooting both sides. Now if I solve this, I should get x is equal to positive 1 and negative 1. This part is extremely important because if I say negative 1 squared, I would get negative 1 times negative 1. And let's leave the signs out for a moment. 1 times 1 is 1. And now let's take into account for the signs. Negative times negative is positive. So you would see that I will get positive 1 if I square both negative 1 and positive 1. So using this little method that I have here, we can clearly see that x would be positive 1 there and x would be negative 1 here. And this is quite a simple method in order to find your x-intercepts. The other method that you guys can do is factorization. Now, if I were to attempt the factorization method in order to obtain these two answers, all I could simply do is using this equation right here, I can find my factors. And my factors should be 4x plus 4 times x minus 1. And I'm going to show you how we can obtain these two x-intercepts using this method right here. Okay. Essentially, in order for me to get an answer of 0 using multiplication, one of these brackets needs to be 0. Because if I were to multiply 2 times 1, I would get an answer of 2. But if I were to multiply 2 times 0, I would get an answer of 0. So either one of these brackets need to be 0. Now, we can't take a chance in mathematics. So what we like to do is we like to apply this concept to each bracket alone. So if I'm working over here right now, I can say 4x plus 4 should equal to 0. Therefore, 4x should equal to negative 4. Therefore, x should equal to negative 1. And that is one of my answers for x. If I come up here and I start working here, using x minus 1, I can say x minus 1 is equal to 0. Then I can say x is equal to 1, using some basic transpositions. And now you can see that I have obtained two distinct solutions for my x-intercepts. One is positive 1, the other is negative 1. And you can see that right here. Okay? So that's quite simple. Now, a point that I want you guys to take away from this is that when you are working with a parabola or any quadratic formula, any quadratic equation, you will obtain two answers. Okay? And that is because in order for you, that is because of the square on the x, actually. Because both the negative and the positive of a number, when squared, will result in the same answer. 3 squared should give you 9. Negative 3 squared should give you 9. 10 squared should give you 100. Negative 10 squared should give you 100. And that is because the parabola is symmetrical across its turning point. Right? It's that simple, guys. All the best, and I will see you in the next one.